We are back for another day of earthbagging the chicken garden.
Day 32. Today it's extremely windy, so we're gonna just kind of keep this intro a little short so that you don't have to listen to that sound.
Hey, guess what? After like 3 days of saying we're gonna install these window openings.
They're not window openings.
These openings. We're finally gonna install these openings.
Yeah, I've made cleats and we are ready to get started.
Okay, let's put these in.
Now, we need to discuss something.
Okay.
I really wanted to put bottles in on this layer, but you don't?
I think it would be better to lock them in with a single unbroken layer with the cleat, and then the next layer up when we don't have a cleat is when we put the bottles in.
I know what you're saying.
But I don't care.
I think visually it would look better to have bottles in on this level.
I think it would look better if they were staggered. So like that's the lower level, and then you've got bottles, and then a few levels up you have more bottles, and then a few levels up you have more bottles. No.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get started.
Okay.
What you want, what you need. Better take all you get, my love, 'cause you know it don't come for free. Every little thing you want, every little thing you need. Keep it all for yourself, my love, 'cause it really don't matter to me. I fell for you, I took the fall, I gave my heart every single time. I know the truth, I see your heart. You know I'm just some simple guy. It's funny how you finally feel like yourself when you finally let someone in and give you some help. Hey, yeah, gotta get what you want, gotta get what you need. Better take all you get, my love, 'cause you know it don't come for free. Every little thing you want, every little thing you need. Keep it all for yourself, my love, 'cause it really don't matter to me.
This is Cupcakes. He's a teenage cat and hates being held. He is a boy.
Are you a grumpy cat?
He's got the
Are you
grumpiest
grumpy?
face in the world.
Oh. Starting on a cleat isn't too bad, but you really do have to be careful because you got nails sticking up, and you want to get it sort of up and like landed right on it so that those nails stick up in the dirt and hold it in place. Adelaide did a good job. She got it going. So now we just got to keep filling it up. Guys, sometimes we have companies reach out to us to do reviews. We say no to most of them, but every once in a while a product comes along that we feel like would be a good fit. ICECO makes awesome portable powered fridges and freezers. While we love the DC fridge that's in our Airstream, as usual, we're running out of space. We're growing as a family, and we'd already been thinking about putting a mini fridge in the solar shed. So when they offered to send this 78 quart single zone fridge, we said, sure, we'll test it out and we'll put it through its paces. So here's the scoop. First of all, these things are tough. They're meant to be taken down bumpy roads, knocked into stuff, sat on. They have heavy duty spring handles, impact resistant corner caps, and they latch shut with steel locks. The compressor, which you can probably hear, rocks. It's a Danfoss, which means it cools down quick, it saves energy, and it should last for years to come. Speaking of saving energy, when this is in the solar shed, we only hear the compressor kick on every hour or so, and when it does, it barely even registers on the inverter. In fact, they say it should only consume 0.5 kilowatts in a 24-hour period when set to 41 degrees. That's crazy. This fridge can run on regular AC power or on DC power with a cigarette lighter adapter cable. It even has battery protection for your car if you're powering it that way, which means that if it senses that your car's battery is getting too low, it'll shut itself off so you don't end up with a dead car battery. Plus, all the settings are really easy to change via the control panel. Inside are really nice lights so you can actually see what you're getting, and baskets that you can pull out if you need to clean up any spills. The only thing we'd really like to see here is some sort of handle or something so it's easier to lift the lid once it's unlatched. But so far we've really been loving the added space we've gotten from this ICECO fridge. We love knowing we could throw it in the back of the truck for a long Tucson grocery run, or that we could set up our own little solar panel and battery system to power it if we wanted to. Portable fridges like this don't run cheap, but if you're in the market for one, we can help save you a few bucks. If you go to tinyshinyhome.com/ICECO12, you can save 12% off anything in the ICECO store. That's not just fridges and freezers, but also camp chairs and barbecue grills and anything else. So go check it out, and happy cooling.
All right, this is the moment I've been waiting for this whole project. We're starting to incorporate some bottles into the wall. We've never done this technique before, but I think it'll work. If we're patient and we don't tamp too hard around these bottles, I think we can make all this work. Now, I do want to point out, I'm out of breath. I do want to point out that these bottles are different sizes. So this bottle is a lot fatter than this bottle. So what I'm doing right here, you can kind of see I've built up some dirt under the skinnier bottle so that they'll lay flat before we start adding our bag. These are going to be random. I might end up with a pattern, but for now, I'm just kind of trying to space them the way that I envision this whole thing happening. Another thing that I'm trying to do is keep it to where there's not very much bottle that's on the inside, because I'd rather see this from the outside. So I'm gonna have any extra bottle width coming out on the outside of this wall.
Also so the chickens don't jump on it.
That too. Like, okay, so.
Where you want it?
I think so.
All right, now we just got to figure out how to lay the bag over them.
That'll be easy.
Welcome back to Tiny Shiny Tuesday, where we shine a light on other people doing cool stuff. Today we're going to talk about beginning from this morning. Juan and Michelle and their 4 kids have been dear friends to us over the years. We've stayed at their place many times while we were traveling, and now they've just finished renovating a vintage bus to travel full-time with their kids in. You may remember that they came by a few months ago and they helped us install our solar system. We love hanging out with them. We love spending time with them. And if you're not already, you should go over to Beginning from This Morning on YouTube, subscribe and follow and see their adventures now that they're traveling full-time. Cool? Cool. Just like that, another course was laid.
Day 32. Guys, look, we got to experiment with bottles. We did a whole course on the circle part, and then we just did this one single section to experiment with bottles.
It's getting so tall. So tall.
Yeah. Hard to jump over, right?
Yes. I may have missed the first one.
Anyway, guys, the bottles I think is going to be a really nice touch. We are going to have to experiment with ways to lay them a little easier.
Yeah, that was a little wonky.
It's going to take a while to figure out a system.
We have a few different ideas for different ways to do it though. So we'll keep experimenting each day, and
hopefully,
then we'll eventually let you know which one we like best.
Yeah. All right, but until then, guys, bottles are coming tomorrow. That means I got to work hard in the morning to get a bunch ready.
Cut those bottles.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it?
That's it for today, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow.